Hello and welcome to the end of the year monthly miniature roundup. I hope you've all been having a wonderful holiday season and your stockings are full of plastic or pewter crack. For Christmas, I received this lovely football shirt. See if anyone in the comments can tell which TV show this is from. Big hint here. After we have a look at all of the new wonderful releases, we'll have a look back at the year as well as what is coming for 2025. I've also got some really lovely photos to share with you of the Discord community's work that they've been producing, and some of it's been absolutely fantastic. So please make sure to check out that part as well. So without further ado, let's see what Corvus Belli are offering up for the beginning of the year. So first of all, continuing lots of the releases with N5's Sand Trap, we're now getting the Shinden Butai Expansion Pack Alpha. So this is now the first packs that we're getting where now Pan O and JSA are kind of separated. And this first pack here basically is going to be filling out a lot of your troops and giving you some options for fire teams as well. So we've got here the two Jizumurai, one with a light shotgun and one with a submachine gun. Now I consider these guys to be Shinden Butai's version of the Domaru Butai, which are kind of like the space samurai guys in Oban. The biggest difference, however, with these guys is that they only have one vitality, so they might go down a little bit easier. I was expecting them to have maybe something like dogged, if not no wound incapacitation, but they do not have this. And considering their price point is pretty similar to a regular Domaru Butai, the Domaru Butai have 2 wounds and they're heavy infantry, so it's going to be interesting to see how survivable they are. So putting these 2 Jizumurai with the Jizumurai from Sand Trap, you can easily make fire teams out of these guys. They go well with the Hatamoto, and the Hatamoto can join them in a fire team. And also if you got the other expansion pack that I covered last month, that one comes with the, I forget which one they're called, but one of the characters in there can also join them in a pure fire team. So with all of the expansions so far, you can now produce a pretty strong core fire team of these guys, which could be interesting to run. I don't know how effective that's going to be. I haven't really looked too deeply into all of the profiles to see how well they all work. But my biggest worry about these guys is that just they have 1 wound. Otherwise, they've got a pretty cool profile. Now, we also get the Metsuke. And this is basically, you're going to be your lieutenant. If you're running a Metsuke, it's going to be a lieutenant. The only 2 options are lieutenant options. However, one of them has 1 order and one of them has 2 lieutenant orders. Now, there's only one other model in Shinden Butai that have NCO, and that is the Hatamoto. So if you are making an army where your Hatamoto is going to be doing a lot of grunt work, and they're pretty powerful models, so you don't really want them just sitting on the back line. So if you want to make full use of them, having a Metsuke as your lieutenant is pretty cool. And also the fact that he has a holo projector makes it a little bit easier to hide. If your Hatamoto is making use of NCO and you've got 2 lieutenant orders, you know that they've got a Metsuke. The only problem is you might not know which model it is because of the holo projector. So I think that's a pretty cool model, and I think that'll be a pretty common go-to just to get that extra order on a Hatamoto. I think is definitely worth it. The Kestrel Expansion Pack Alpha is also out to expand the Pan-O side of Sand Trap, and here we get 2 Fireflies. Fireflies seem to be very versatile units. You get lots of options with doctors and engineers. You can put down remotes with some. So you can really kind of pick and choose what kind of outfit they're going to go with. And so one of them is a submachine gun. That's going to be your versatile Firefly with which profile you're going to attach it to. And then you've also got a Firefly with a heavy rocket launcher just to, do as much damage as possible to things. Then we've also got the Scarecrow Hacker. The Scarecrows, now I've been looking at them a little bit more, they really kind of seem to me to be Pan-O's version of the Hak-Islam's Tuareg. I love the Tuareg hacker that you can infiltrate very easily into the enemy lines and just start like disabling heavy infantry where they stand. This feels like the same thing that Pan-O are getting that option within the Kestrel force. So yeah, pretty cool. I think that would be very useful. I think all 3 of those are very useful profiles. In terms of design, they're like meh. I quite like the fireflies. I think they look pretty cool. Scarecrow still seems a bit odd to me, but that's just me. And I'm a little bit biased against Pano. We also have the JSA Army Pack Essentials coming out. And these are basically just a re-release of models that are already available, many of which are in the Army Pack or are in some other packs that you would combine. If you haven't bought the Essentials pack, and if you're thinking about just doing regular JSA, I think if you can get hold of it, the old Army Pack is fantastic. I think that one's the one you go for. But this Army Pack Essentials is pretty good, and I think mostly good choices in the set if you're starting out with JSA. So if you already had the Essentials set and you had a couple of Keisotsu and you got the Shikami, then this set added onto it is pretty good. This time you do get 3 more Keisotsu, so you get 1 more with a combi rifle, so that rounds out to 3 combi rifles if you have the first Essentials set. You get the Hacker and the Missile Launcher as well. Now, this means that you don't get the Heavy Machine Gun, which I don't think is a bad thing, because I don't think I've ever run a Keisotsu Heavy Machine Gun, or at least I've never run it and had a good time. I find the Missile Launcher to be much more useful, because basically my Keisotsu are going to be ARO pieces, and a Missile Launcher is a much better ARO piece than a Heavy Machine Gun. You're losing so much burst running an HMG as an ARO piece. I feel like the Keisotsu just work better as ARO pieces. The Kempei Tai has the Marksman Rifle. This is not the profile that I usually run with a Kempei Tai, and this is where I feel like this is the wrong call for a base Kempei Tai in your army. Obviously, you can just run it under any other profile, but the problem with the Marksman Rifle is it does not have chain of command. And with JSA, I'm usually a little bit more aggressive with my lieutenant options, trying to get them into the thick of things and make use of their lieutenant order. So having a Kempei Tai in the back line with chain of command just stops my whole army from going into loss of lieutenant. So I do think that this one is not the better choice. However, you could just run it as another profile. I mean, you just tell the person that it's just a regular combi rifle, or it is a boarding shotgun, and you can run the chain of command version anyway. So not a big deal, but thematically, I feel like it's not the best choice visually on the table when you're choosing your Kempei Tai. That's just me, maybe. The Ryuken with SMG is always very handy. This will give you someone with a bit of forward deployment, and you can run the Killer Hacker, which is really, really useful. So you get a button pusher that's forward of the main line of troops, and can kind of deal with any hackers as well that come up. So very useful choice, that one. Ryuken is good. I like that one. The Oniwaban as well. I mean, Oniwabans are just hunter killers. They will go out and destroy big things with their monofilament blades. So an Oniwaban is always a great choice to have in an army. So I think that's a win on there. And then you have the Daiokai for having something which is a bit more heavier. And without having all of the other kind of heavy infantry available in these essential sets, such as the Domaru and the Tanko, I think the Daiokai is a nice one to have in there, and it's a cool centerpiece for your army as well, even so. But I very rarely actually run Daiokai. This now brings us over to the Pan-O Essentials Army Pack. I'm just going to be really talking about this one more on a aesthetic design, because I'm really not that familiar with Pan-O's armies. But you got a similar set here with 3 Fusiliers, one with a combi rifle, so regular. You got a multi-sniper and a hacker, which seems fine. JSA don't really have a choice for a sniper, so that's why you kind of get the missile launcher instead, and the Fusiliers get the sniper. The Orc with a Feuerback, as far as I understand, that's a pretty good model to have. A Locust Hacker as well. Again, aesthetically, I quite like the design of the Hacker. I think he's pretty cool. A lot of these are pretty old models, as far as I understand. The Teutonic Knight is awesome. He's the one swinging his sword around, and also the Crux Knight as well looks pretty awesome. I do not actually like the Orc's pose. It's almost T-posing. I don't like that very much. But the 2 Knights look great. Love those dynamic poses. They're quite as far as I understand, the Teutonic Knight is a pretty old model, and it still holds up today. It looks absolutely fantastic. It might be on a bit of the smaller side, but otherwise, yeah, it's a nice set, I think. It's pretty cool if you're into Pano and you're just starting out with the essentials. That would be a nice little set. You can tell me I'm wrong in the comments because I really know nothing about Pano. Now we get some of our new special models, and we're going in the video game category here with Dr. Priya Harper, Archaea Raider. So this is basically Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. And she's kind of an interesting little character to bring to Pano. I was having a quick look at the profile, and there was nothing that really stood out that great about her for 30 points until I saw that she brings +1 SWC. So as a Tomb Raider, she's bringing new tech to the army, allowing them to field more heavy weapons and things. I don't know how that will pan out for a full army. I'm sure there's ways of doing it. Again, I don't know Pano very well, but a lot of their heavy weapons and things are already going to be kind of expensive in terms of points costs, and having a 30-point model giving you +1 SWC might really reduce your order count. I don't know, but it's kind of a cool model. I think it's pretty cool, and yeah, it's basically Tomb Raider in Infinity. Yay. And continuing on that video game bent, we have Jamie Arantes, Netroid Rover. So this is basically Metroid. She's basically the character in Metroid. I forget the name. I don't really play Metroid. But there was a little bit of a surprise when this model actually released, because the profile in N4 that was available had her down as an S4, Silhouette 4 model. However, the model that was releasing was a Silhouette 2, and people kind of noticed this and was like, what's going on? And they were like, oops, made a kind of a mistake there, kind of. So I think we're going to be seeing a different sculpt, perhaps, which is going to be an S4 profile, which comes with the Netroid, which is basically a Metroid. However, in N5, I had a quick look at the profiles for the Torchlight Brigade, because I'm collecting Torchlight Brigade, and I am actually very interested in getting this model because it seems pretty awesome. And they have two profiles now. One is S4 and one is S2, so this model will still be viable, which is fine, I guess. I don't know which came first, whether or not it was like a mistake on the sculpting side of things and a miscommunication there, or it was already planned all along and they were going to have an S2 profile for N5 already planned, and S4 was also going to be coming out. But I'll be interested to see what the S4 model looks like, and I'll probably make my choice after I see both models, whether or not I get either one of them or both of them. Anyway, that's pretty much everything for Infinity at the moment. Warcrow, I'm afraid, is on a bit of a disappointing release for this month. We've got the Black Legion Bucklermen, which are the Bucklermen from the Warcrow starter set, and we have the Orc Hunters, which are the Orc Hunters from the starter set. Their price point is the same as all the other U units that are coming out, so kind of expensive. It's almost worth just buying the starter set again and selling off some of the extra parts and things like that, because to be honest, you're only paying a little bit more to get a whole bunch of extra minis that you could try maybe converting, a load of scenery, a load more tokens, things like that, and measurement tools and things like that for just a little bit more. And it's the exact same sculpts. And I feel like people want extra Bucklermen, people want extra Hunters, but I don't know how many people are going to be like, yeah, I want to pay this much money for the exact same sculpts I've already got. They should have done one of two options. Because when I buy Corvus Belli miniatures, I don't consider the price of these miniatures to be purely the material. I consider the fact that they are beautiful sculpts. And so much of that extra cost, or that money that I'm happy to pay, is for the design of the models, the sculpting artist's work, and all of the other design that went into them. Because there's always like this lovely levels of design of where they have the artist's 2D pictures, then that goes to the sculptors who make those, and then all of the lore that goes behind them. Everything like that. That's all part of the price point for me. So having the exact same sculpts feels like I'm being shortchanged. I feel they should have gone one of two ways. Either the Bucklermen and Orc Hunters have a discount on their base price, like even if it was just like $5 less than other box sets of units, or they keep the price point the same and they have new sculpts, which is actually the one I would much prefer. So I know that they're still putting in that same extra effort that they're putting into all of those new models, but we're getting some new sculpts to field another unit, or another unit of Bucklermen, or another unit of Hunters, because I just don't like having the exact same sculpts on the table at the same time, representing two different units. Yeah, I could paint them a little bit differently, but I feel on these smaller scale skirmish battle games, everything being unique looks really nice. So for me, this is basically just told me I'm not going to be getting extra Bucklermen. I'm not going to be getting extra Orc Hunters. I just don't know. Yeah, this one feels not great when I already have these. I'm not willing to pay that much for them. So sorry, not great for Warcrow this month. Boo-hoo. So that is everything being released from Corvus Belli this month. Let's move on to things that I'm excited for. Alright, N5 is here and I want to play it so much. I haven't had a chance to actually play it either online or in person, but in a couple of days I will be running demos of the game in Nara. And I'm hoping to get a few games in with some people and introduce the game to them. So I've painted up some minis and I'm taking, I think, 4 or 5 demo factions. Printed out all of the stuff ready to go. I'm very excited to actually introduce it to some people. I probably should have a quick practice solo game by myself just to make sure I'm up on all of the new rules and how I'm going to introduce it to new people, but I'm really excited for it. Cannot wait to field my Torchlight Brigade in a 300 point game. I may have to do that one online through Tabletop Simulator, but I really want to scan all my models in and actually use them in the simulator as well. But if I could play some in-person games, that'd be great. Right now, there is genuine interest here in Osaka for N5, so I'm hoping that we get some people on board to play. Warcrow is going to be expanding with a new faction soon. I believe early in 2025 we're going to be seeing the expansion set. A lot of people are murmuring that it's going to be the Sylvan, is it? The elves, the wood elves basically, which will be kind of cool to see what that is and what that entails and what is inside the box. Yeah, I'll be kind of curious. Not going to be jumping into getting a whole new faction in Warcrow yet. I really just want the Northern Tribes and the Hegemony rounded off so that I can run some 250 point games. Really want to see some more missions and things released and a bit more content in that way so that we can really dig into some Warcrow. I really want to see, hopefully once we start seeing this rounded out and we start seeing competitions getting started, that we see an equivalent of an ITS for Warcrow. That'd be cool. My Kickstarter for Apex Legends, this is the Kickstarter that's going on forever and ever and ever. It has been pushed back to a March release, but it looks pretty solid that it will be around March. So we can probably expect to see that maybe March, April, at the latest, I hope May. And as soon as that one does arrive, I will be running reviews of it and we'll be looking at the box, and I'm excited to kind of jump in and start painting a lot of that stuff. So we'll start seeing a bit of the Apex Legends board game content on the channel as well. I'm also awaiting the shipping charge right now for Brom Miniatures Kickstarter that I backed, where I get some heavy body acrylics and some wonderful busts and models to paint. That's going to be my display painting for next year, and I think I'll probably try and do a video covering painting display models, because I haven't done that really. I've done one video on that, and that one's been kind of I had continuous interest slowly, but I would love to do more because I think it's really, really fun to do display model painting and you learn so much from it. So that's going to keep me busy for quite a while to do lots of painting there. So excited for them to come soon. So how has 2024 been for my channel and my hobby? Well, On YouTube, we released 40 videos, which is pretty good, I think. And we managed to grow the channel quite a bit. We got about 660 subscribers, which now puts us up to 1,640 total. So thank you so much. This has been the best year of growth for my channel. Thank you all so much for that. I can't do it without you. So big thank you for you all. I'll tell you what my top 5 videos were this year, starting from number 5, which was the very recent one that I did, which was Should We Boycott Vallejo? So I tried to cover some of the news that was coming out about the Vallejo strike, because I wasn't really seeing many videos covering a lot of the details. So I thought I'd just put something out there. And it seemed to be received by a lot of people. Some very interesting mix of comments in that. So I recommend checking it out, and also just having a look at all of the comments. There's quite a wide spectrum of people's opinions and ideas. Kind of hit a nerve with that video when I was just trying to bring to light some of the issues there. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Now, surprisingly, my 4th most popular video this year was a video I made last year in April 2023, which was making stunning 3D models of your minis. This was a video that basically just is a guide to scanning your models and putting them into Tabletop Simulator to play games with them. As a tutorial where people take an interest when they need to, I think people just keep coming back to see bits of it to learn how to do it. So yeah, happy that one's just getting continuous coverage, as it were. We also have at 3rd place another really old one, which was in January 2022, and I remember making it and just kind of having fun making a video, not really thinking too much about it, and thinking this will be a terrible video that no one will want to watch because it's me just screwing up mostly. And that was learning how to airbrush with inks. And it was like, it's not a guide, it is see how badly I tried to learn how to airbrush with inks at the time where I was very new to airbrushing. It seems to constantly get attention, and I have no idea why, but people seem to like it, so great. In 2nd, we had Limit Your Choice of Paint, which is one I did this year in May of 2024. I really enjoyed making this video because this was like a nice challenge of just painting a miniature using a very limited range of paint sets from just one basic paint set, which just had a very smart choice of colors in it. And yeah, it was fun to do. It was terrible video quality, but it was a good video to make. It was fun. I'm glad people enjoy it. And finally, the top video that I've had this year is, again, it's been all my recent stuff right now, which is the Vallejo strike is escalating. I did an update just to let people know of what things were changing, because I didn't see anyone else really updating on the information. So I thought I'd just put it out there just to let people know where the strike had gotten to so far. And most recently, I expect my recent video as well to be in these top 5. It's just I haven't given it enough time to really see where it is at, and that is the aftermath, where the strike came to an end. So it was an interesting 3 videos to put out there. People are obviously interested, as it definitely gets more viewership than my other videos, but I was glad to share that information, and I was really happy to see that the strikers came out on top of that. It was great. Now, outside of YouTube and doing all those things, my commissions have been increasing. It's really helping me to generate some hobby revenue. So I managed to get this year a new light from Redgrass Studios, which I might do a review on. I've been using it a lot now, and so I'm very used to using it. I can't imagine painting without it, so I wouldn't mind doing a review. Let me know if you're interested in something like that, and I'll do it. Been able to get more paint, more models, that kind of thing. Now trying to round out more kind of basing materials and things as I'm doing more display pieces, and just trying to give myself variety for my bases, because I'm pretty bad at doing that, to be honest. Twitch has also been continuing nicely with a wonderful bunch of regular viewers that let me get more painting done. So it's a great way for me to regularly paint and also interact with the community. And it's always just lovely having a few people just join you as you paint and chat with you and keep you engaged. It's lovely. So thank you very much to all those people there that have been joining me on Twitch. I also got bronze in the Vallejo Volks contest in Osaka, and I'm currently finishing off my next miniature for that contest. So please wish me luck. Fingers crossed I can do a little bit better this time. That was the year of 2024. So what is in store next year for me? Well, I'm expecting, as I said, I've got more commissions right now, so that's going to be keeping me very, very busy. But I do hope to put out some more Infinity content. I would love to make some guides for new players, maybe with some faction breakdowns. I think it's a great opportunity to do so with N5 now being released. I would like to put out more Warcrow content. As more miniatures are released, doing some battle reports would also be fun. We did a tester battle report on the game Mutant Year Zero Zone Wars. And it's been tricky to edit that one, but it was very good. It was a very good learning process. So we hope to try and use that kind of format that we're working on there to maybe do some battle reports in the future. But we will have to see. It is tough doing the battle reports, I have to say, when you have limited time. Apex Legends, obviously, I said is coming, so I want to be doing some painting tutorials or just painting of the diorama bases and models with a video accompanying those. I will obviously do a review of the game as well, and also would love to do some battle reports. I think these ones would be lots of fun for battle reports because you run with 4 players. So having a little bit of that chit chat and back and forth would be kind of a lot of fun and keep the energy quite high for a battle report of that. And yeah, visually it's pretty cool as well. I'm going to be painting more display miniatures, as I said before, because of the Brom Kickstarter. I'm going to be getting some really nice display pieces and using the hardbody acrylics. So I'll probably do a review of trying to use the hardbody acrylics. Never using them before. It's probably going to be a bit like me learning to use inks and the airbrush, where I kind of screw things up quite a lot as I learn how to do it. I think people kind of enjoy that. Sometimes having all the YouTubers who seemingly do everything so easily is kind of off-putting for people. Having someone like me go on and maybe screw things up as I learn is much more beneficial for beginners and people learning things about the hobby, so that they don't feel so bad when they have a go and it screws up for them. Also, of course, I've got to be making my Turnip 28 army. I've made one little dude with a tentacly arm, but I've got a whole host to make. Don't know when that's going to happen. It'll get there eventually. And I may even be looking at starting to get into 3D printing at some point. If I can save up enough money, I will get myself a 3D printer and start messing around with that. And the running joke on my Twitch is one day I'll get to painting my Malifaux models, which I've now had for a year and I have not done anything with except for base coat some of them. So yeah, that's another thing there. Next year though, I really don't want to buy more minis. With 2 Kickstarters coming and most of my armies rounded out, I'll probably just pick up a couple of pieces just to round out my armies. And then I think I just get on with everything that I've got here. So hopefully we're just putting out content of stuff that I've got and I've got running in the background right now. All right, everyone, it's time to have a look at some of the community painting. And this month, some of it is absolutely fantastic. So thank you, everyone who submitted all of your pictures. They are looking great. I'm very happy to share what you have released. And so we have one of our regulars. Hey, it's Bren. And he's still continuing with a lot of his Torchlight Brigade, and his color scheme is always just on point. His paintwork is on point, and I love the thematic shots that he takes on his terrain. It's great. So we've got some of these absolutely wonderful models. He's done another roadblock as well, so he's running 2 roadblocks, which is scary when you play up against him. But yeah, really impressed with the quality of his work and how well all of these pieces just look good on the table. So even individually they look really nice, but you can imagine seeing all of his models together in a whole army. They'll look absolutely fantastic on the tabletop. So really great work there. Please go and check his stuff out. We also have Starbuck Viper, who continues to be prolific with his releasing of models and miniatures and painting. So he's been painting up a whole host of dwarves, And I swear, like, his painting is getting better and better every month that we see it. His photography as well is getting better as well, which is great to see. But the models are painted up really, really nicely now, getting better and better and better. And we've got like these wonderful little bits of fire on some of the models as well. I love the blues on the banners. Really, really nice. And he's had a go at doing his first diorama. I think it's a really, really good first diorama. He's done a Necromunda one of the is it the Outlanders or Outlands for Necromunda, where they're all on vehicles. I think he's got some Orlocks on their buggies, shooting at some guys on weird Dune Walker thingy mabobs. I forget which factions they are. They've changed so much since I played Necromunda back in the 90s. But what I really like about this diorama is just how everything feels like it belongs in that world. Like all of the colors and the weathering and things just blends into the ground so much. So it all feels like it should be there. So really nice work. I'm very impressed. Very great work. Martin as well has worked on some kind of epic scale, like the really tiny scale Chaos Warriors, and they look really cute. They're so cutesy, but they're really painted up really nicely as well. I think they absolutely look fantastic, but they are something about the scale as well just makes everything look so cute, like it's like a little chibi or something like that. Yeah, little cute corn Chaos Warriors. We also have Crow. Crow is someone who's always comes onto the stream and chats, and he's shared some pictures of these wonderful little dogs that he painted up as presents, I think, for Christmas. They're just so super cute. I absolutely love them. They're adorable. Absolutely beautiful models. Lovely Crow. Bull DM as well has been continuing painting up some very interesting miniatures, and this month we got a Triceratops Samurai, which looks just really awesome. I love how colourful he paints all of his models with such vibrancy as well. It's great. Now, White Wolf has been painting up a dragon, and it is just full of colour. It's very, very interesting. Not really the traditional colors you might expect to paint a dragon, but it looks absolutely fantastic. I love the pink to green to blue flame that it's breathing. Really, really good. And he even tried to paint on a black hole onto the back of the wing as well. So it's a very, very... I can't imagine trying to paint that. That looks really, really good that he painted that. So really nice work. Yeah, he's really, really trying hard with those things. I wouldn't be brave enough to do that. So, nice work there. We've also got Grumpy Crane Studios, who's also been a constant regular, and he also has his own Twitch channel that I recommend that you go and check out. He'd been painting up this commissar, but it was basically to be looking like the box art, and I think he did a fantastic job. I love the skin tones that he got for this commissar. Really adds all of the character to it. Looks fantastic. And that black on the cloak is really, really nice as well. He also painted up this kind of stitched together pony, and did a little bit of OSL with a fire at the bottom there. I absolutely love how dark everything is. It makes the OSL work really, really well. If everything's too bright, the OSL doesn't work, but he's darkened out everything so that the OSL really, really, really shines on the edges of the model where it should be highlighted. So really, really nice job. Love the base work. A lot more effort on the base than I ever put into my minis. So really, really nice work, Grumpy. That was super. We also got, now this one is a super model. This one was from Valthek. Again, another Twitch streamer that I recommend you go and check out because he's a really, really good painter as well. This display piece is absolutely fantastic. I love all the choice of colors. I love the fact that there is kind of this galaxy that is, you can see in the halo, painted in there. The level of detail that has been put in is great, and there's absolutely beautiful blends on the non-metallic metals. I wish I could paint like this, and one day I hope I will. But yeah, absolutely fantastic work, and we got like such a lovely range this month. Really, really good. So thank you everyone for submitting your work. If you're interested in submitting your work, you can join my Discord. I put a link in the description, and you can share your pictures as well, and we will share them every month for the Monthly Miniature Roundup. Yeah, but thank you everyone. They were absolutely brilliant work this month. Okay, this now leads me to my work, and I'm afraid I have not been that prolific. I've been busy. Work has been very, very busy. I'm now on holidays, so I'm going to be getting more done. But I've been trying to get through my Torchlight Brigade and get them finished off, and I did paint up a whole bunch of them. Haven't done the bases yet, so they're not officially finished yet, but they're pretty much there. I can still go and play with them at the moment, and yeah, I was really, really happy with how they came out. But the base work is going to be a little bit more of an effort, as I'm actually going to be making full-on sci-fi bases for them. It'll just take a little bit of time when I need to get that done. But yeah, they're coming along really, really nicely. I also got a commission to do a Spirited Away 3D print. To be honest, the 3D print was not great because it was done through an FDM and you could see a lot of layer lines and things, but I gave it my best effort that I could and tried to go for a little bit of a cel shaded style, anime style paint job on it. It's serviceable. It's not my best work, but I tried my best on this with a new technique that I'm not used to on a print that really wasn't super, to be honest. But still, I enjoyed it and I learned a lot from it. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I also have been painting up a bunch of these Scourge models for Shadows of Brimstone, which are all of these skeletons which are running around on fire. They look pretty cool, and I really enjoyed painting the fire, which was basically like a yellow base going up to an orange, going up to a red, going up to a black. And I feel like the effect was all right. It worked pretty well for like tabletop kind of minis that you're going to be putting out there. I had 6 of them to do, so I kind of just batch painted the whole lot of them. And this is where I'm at the moment with my display piece that I'm doing for my for the next contest, for the Vallejo Volks contest that is running at the moment. I have until January 13th to submit it, and I still have to do the large base that I'm doing for this model, which is going to be a whole river and waterfall scene that this model is standing atop of. So yeah, wish me luck. All right, that's basically it for today. Thank you very, very much for joining and listening to my ramblings. I hope you enjoyed them. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and give a comment, or even subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, I hope you all have a happy new year and many hobbying time is spent through 2025. Thank you. I'll be here as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.